I think, as I said earlier, from the economic standpoint, we don't really face any major risk because our macroeconomic situation has been stable. And this is something we have experienced over the last 10, 15 years. It's not something that just happened the other day. So from a macroeconomic standpoint, we are quite okay. And this is confirmed by the ratings that we're getting from Standard & Poor's and Fitch, and also the assessment from the IMF and the World Bank, in addition to others. So from an economic standpoint, we really don't face major risk. But I know there are people talking about political risk. And again, here I would like to say that since 2008, we have put in place legal and institutional structures that were meant to prevent the kind of chaos that we saw in 2008. And if you recall, especially after passing the Constitution, the first major reform was the judiciary, where there was a serious reform, and the judiciary became very independent. And also part of those reforms was also to ensure that there is a smooth transition during elections. If there is any dispute, it was clear that it should be dealt with within a short period, like a month or so. And also the fact that there is a very clear legal procedure for handing over power. So all the things that were causing trouble then, especially in 2008, where you could hear the opposition saying that they don't trust the judiciary, they are not sure whether if they go to court, they will be heard in time, or maybe they will just run down the clock and 5 years are over. So from that standpoint, again, from a political standpoint, the risks are minimal. Other reforms include the legal instruments for preventing incitement, for example, or hate speech. Also the police reforms that were then, and generally the implementation of the Constitution. That has helped a lot. So from a political standpoint, we don't see any major risk as we transition to the next, after the elections.
That has been the risk profile and economic agenda of the country generally. But let's talk about the increase in commodity prices, especially the essential commodities like maize flour, sugar and milk that the country has faced over time. If you can see these maize flour prices surge again after April drop, this story that has been captured in Business Daily today brings about the dramatic increase, if I can say, of maize flour from 140, that stands at 144 shillings today per 2 kilogram packet. The price of maize effectively increasing, they say, from by 22% by 22 shillings from last week. Some outlets, some retailers like Nakumat have not had actually maize. They have not had maize flour for the past few days. What is the government trying to do about this dramatic increase, if I may, of food prices?
Yeah, as you're aware, of course, we have been experiencing one of the worst droughts in the recent past. We missed the short rains, and the long rains also came late. And sometime in February, March, the president declared this to be an emergency. Thereafter, it became possible for importers to bring in maize duty-free, but obviously that has not been sufficient to reduce the price, although prices went down a little bit, as you correctly put it. But in the recent past, we have started seeing again the prices going up. And that's the main reason why the president last week came out very strongly to talk about it and express the concern that the government has in terms of the high prices of those essential commodities, especially maize. And he called Parliament back to come and discuss and pass the supplementary budget in order to, again, bring in more food. And in the last 2 days, the technical teams have been meeting in government to assess the situation and then determine the resource requirements for that. They are now cleaning up all that work that they have done, and then present it to Parliament as soon as possible, because it's an urgent matter.
That has been Dr. Geoffrey Mwau from the National Treasury, who says that still stakeholders are talking and to see how they can do something about the increase in food prices, especially that have affected the consumers in the lower cadres really bad. The president not recalled really, but Parliament has resumed sitting yesterday, and so really soon, he says, we expect that National Treasury shall pass the supplementary budget to Parliament for review. And of course, he says, and he really hopes that that should, in a way, be able to arrest the increase in food prices that the country has seen for the past few weeks.